I'm going to run you through now the 8-step process that we use to generate leads and brand and reach and awareness for lawyers using Facebook ads and the Meta ads platform. So step one is going to be offer development. So this is all about crafting a compelling offer. I'm going to break down exactly what an offer is. That's tailored to attract and engage your target audience effectively. Essentially, an offer is the mechanism that we use to take people who have no idea what you are. It's a vehicle to move them off of the platforms and into your law firm's ecosystem, whether that's a lead, whether that's an email capture. The offer is the actual mechanism, that the vehicle that we use to move them off the platform. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to develop offers that attract and entice and solve the target's problems of your target audience. Step two is going to be campaign ideation. So now we're going to start talking about generating ad concepts that resonate with your target audience and drive engagement. So when I say ad ideation, I'm talking about the entire thing. I'm talking about the campaign level. I'm talking about the video, the images, the copy, the concepts, all that stuff. I've got a really good process. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Step three is going to be the ad creation, the copywriting, and the scripting. So I have ad creation broken down into 2 steps here. I'll just fast forward to number 4 here too, so you can see how it breaks down. Once we've got the offer developed, the campaign ideated, now we're going to actually create the ad in 2 parts. One is going to be copywriting and scripting. So I like to start with the actual writing of the ad. Copywriting means the text form, and then the scripting of the videos. We can do that in kind of one fell swoop, if you will. We knock them both out together. And then once we have that, now we can actually start creating the creative, which is videos and images that are going to be using the assets of the campaign. So I know this might seem overwhelming, but I've got a really good plan that I'm going to show you using AI, how you can speed up 90% of this process to get these ads created on your behalf. Next up is going to be landing page creation. So the landing page is where we're sending the traffic after they view the ad. So they see the ad on their feed, they click on it, we're sending them to a landing page. That's going to be designed to actually capture either the lead, to capture their information, to drive a phone call, to watch a video. There's a number of different goals that we can use on that, but we need a landing page that's not your website. It has to be a custom private landing page experience that is designed to meet the intent of the ad. Part 6 is going to be conversion tracking and intake syncing. This is incredibly important. So many of you are doing all this marketing and advertising without any sort of measurement strategy. How much you paying per lead, how much you paying per case, what's your case conversion rate with intake from the specific traffic source. A lot of you, I can't tell you how many I talk to on sales calls. And you're like, my intake is great. I close 90% of my leads. And I'm like, if you close 90% of your leads, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, trust me, right? So that's because you think of it like, oh, like if I have a conversation with a qualified lead who's ready to sign, I close 90% of them. Of course you do, but that's not how you scale a business. Scaling a business is you're going to have to sift through a lot of bad leads, right? And we need to be able to track all those leads all the way from the exact ad that it came from. So that way, when we go back to the beginning and we optimize ads and we optimize creative and we're feeding Meta the data that we want, we need to be able to track all that the way through from exactly where that traffic initiated from into how it goes, through your intake process. So we need to make sure that we're tracking that properly. And we do that before we actually set up the ad. So we've gone through all this. You can see, that's why I said the ad setup and management obviously is an important part of it, but too many of you start there. You start with the targeting, you start with how do I set up Meta ads. We have to go through all this before we actually start going and setting up ads. And then we're going to do A/B tests. We're going to do all sorts of different testing mechanisms to really dial into what type of creative and messaging works. And then finally, just 360 analysis and adjustments. So talked about this a little bit. Your first campaign is going to fail, but you're going to fail forward. You need to fail forward. That's with anything in marketing. It takes time. It takes adjustments. It takes patience and testing. And again, the Meta platform is going to be better the more that you advertise on it. If you have all this stuff set up properly, you have to have tracking set up properly, because when you fire a conversion in your CRM and then we fire that list back into the Meta platform for targeting to build audiences, that list is going to grow and grow and grow. The more cases that you sign, the more leads that you generate, Facebook is going to understand better and better who we want to target. Because again, we can't go into Meta and say, target people who are in a car accident. It doesn't work like that. We have to use the conversions to feed back to Meta, so Meta can then use that to then build the audience based on all the data points that it has that it's not going to give us access to. So that's the 8-step process for lawyers to have success with Meta ads. Now I'm going to dive into each one of these and really break these down for you so you understand how you can apply these to your law firm. Hey, Ryan here. Hope you liked that video. If you want more, check out these two videos right here on this screen.